Hello Philmont members, Justin Regal, Director of Golf here at the club. Just wanted to give you a quick update on what's happening with the golf course. For those of you who have not met Tony Johnson, our new superintendent, just wanted to give him an opportunity to introduce himself, and then we can talk about what is happening on the course and some of the projects we've been doing over the winter. So Tony, if you don't mind, tell us a little bit about yourself and where you've been.
Yeah, so I started my turf career in Midwest Indiana, small public course. From there, moved on to my internship at Sandridge Golf Club up in Chardon, Ohio. From there, was at Saucon Valley Country Club in Bethlehem, Pennsylvania for 10 years. I ran the old course for 6. And then my wife and I decided to move to Maine, so I ran Penobscot Valley Country Club for 2 years. Then we had a first child and decided to move back down for family. So we were at Westlake in Jackson, New Jersey for 3 years.
Excellent. So if you have not had a chance to meet Tony, next time you're at the club, hopefully it's sooner rather than later, please take a moment to introduce yourself to him. He's been a great addition to the team so far. Course progress has been amazing. So we'll talk a little bit about that. Obviously looking out the golf shop window all winter, the view out on the golf course has changed quite a bit from some of the tree work we've done. Maybe tell us a little bit about why we took down some of those trees and the help that it gave us from an agronomical standpoint.
So the big thing with trees is you want to make sure that you have air movement, sunlight, and that's it. So with a lot of these areas, you know, down by the chipping area, in between 7 and 12, we had some areas that just were not getting any sunlight. With that being said, you know, behind the 9th green was getting about 45 minutes of sunlight a day. So we proceeded to remove quite a few trees on those specific areas, and with the enhanced air movement and sunlight, I think we'll be able to see a big difference.
So a lot of improved turf conditions in those areas.
Correct.
That's great. So if you haven't seen it yet, the areas between 7 and 12, it looks incredible. It's very clean through there. We can actually highlight the stream that went through there. Many of you may not even know that there is a stream through 7 and 12. And the other part on the back side of 8 tee box is a beautiful stone wall going back who knows when, but it's beautiful, and we'll be able to highlight that now. How about progress on the greens? You know, we can start with the sodded greens, how far along they are, and then we can get into some of the other greens as well.
Yeah, so the sodded greens, you know, they were sodded late November, which isn't the greatest time to sod, but with the winter we had and being under the turf covers, they performed very well. The root system is progressing nicely, and you know, those greens are going to be, as I said, in a couple other things that, you know, we're going to have to treat those a little different. The thatch layer is going to be a little bit thicker on those, so they'll require some more aerification. But from a standpoint of playability, you know, they're going to be a little faster. You know, so we'll have to regulate that with the other green speeds. But they're coming along very nicely. We took some trees down around the 5th green, and that has helped immensely back there. You know, so I still think we're on target for where we need to be. The goal was 90% coverage by April 1st. I think we're there. Some greens further along than others. But I think from an agronomic standpoint, I think we're right where we need to be.
That's great. Yeah, every time, you know, I take a spin out on the golf course, it continues to look better and better and better. And like we said, you know, our goal was 90% coverage, you know, by April 1st. I think we're already there. And it'll continue from this point exponentially getting better, you know, as it gets warmer out.
Correct. So we're still planning on more aerifications, adding more sand to the soil profile. The problem with a lot of these greens is they don't have drainage. And the top dressing sand, once in the aerification holes, creates a bunch of pore space, and air movement allows oxygen and nutrients to exchange. And then from there, you also get a lot better percolation rate when rainfall happens. So, you know, right now the percolation rate here at Philmont is pretty low.
So I don't know what percolation is, so I'm sure many of you don't.
Think of a coffee pot.
Okay.
It percolates. So percolation rate is the amount of inches per hour a green could actually drain.
Okay.
So, you know, when we were at Saucon Valley, when we first got there, we had native push-up greens with no drainage in them. it was 8 inches per hour, meaning they could drain 8 inches of water in an hour. By the time I left, it was up into the 60 inches
Wow.
per hour. So we modified the soil into pretty much a USGA green with the amount of aggressive aerification we did. So we'll see something similar here. The greens have been, since I've been here, the greens have been aerified 5 times with a dry jacked on top of that.
That's
So
great.
that allowed us to put an extra 60 tons of sand into the greens profile on top of the 5 aerifications. So we verified them again early March, and we're planning on doing another one Monday
Okay.
with a little bit bigger tines. So we'll be able to create a lot more pore space and root zone.
That's excellent, excellent. So how about some other projects we did during the winter? I know I saw some things going on holes 2 and 9. What were we doing there?
So a lot of the areas, when I first walked the golf course, where you see a lot of the damage was because of just the shape of how the golf course is. There's nowhere for the water to go when you get as much rain as you did last year. So, we added about 1,000 feet of drainage into the bottom of the second fairway. So that should help that exponentially. We had to put our drain project on 9 on hold, just due to time constraints, but we'll do that on a Monday, so we don't impact play, and it'll be, you won't even know we were there.
Because it's not very invasive.
No,
Correct.
it's a very straightforward drainage project, and it's not very far run.
So that'll definitely dry out the end of 2 fairway quite a bit.
Correct.
Good.
And then the natural spring that popped up in the middle of 9 fairway towards the halfway house, that will dry that up immensely over there.
Great, looking forward to that. So I think the only other question that comes up from our membership from time to time is fairways. What are we doing to get our fairways back to, what they used to be?
So, in the past, they did aerification in-house. We actually hired a company out this fall, and we did it so late that we don't necessarily need to do another fairway aerification this spring. If you've been out on the golf course, you still see the holes. So you just have to look at it from a nutrition standpoint. Based on the soil tests, the soils aren't bad, but they just need tweak nutritionally. So, going forward over the winter, we created a game plan of a very good nutritional program for the subsoil.
Great.
So, we're getting there with the tree work and everything. It has really helped areas out. Right now they're growing like crazy. So, but other than that, winter project wise, we updated a lot of things. We made signs for some of the areas that just kind of match everything.
Mhm.
Just, you didn't feel like the whole club was together. There's like clutter in there.
Yeah, wait till you see some of the new signage for, the tee boxes, signage for the driving range. We also have new targets on the driving range so everything matches together. It's pretty incredible what you've been able to accomplish.
Yeah, and the good thing is it elevates Philmont, in a very inexpensive manner. And, we're just trying to do our part down in our building that, just elevates everybody's experience.
Well, it's been great so far. Looking forward to continued progress out there. The fairways are getting better by the day. The other thing is, our fairways weren't covered all winter. We had the benefit of covering the greens all winter. So we took those covers off and they were neon green because they were growing all winter. So it'll take a couple days, couple weeks before they start popping like the greens.
Once the soil temperatures start normalizing, you want to get up into that 55-degree range in the soils. Once you start seeing that, you'll see a lot of root growth, that spring green up, that Augusta look.
Yeah.
So we're starting to see that now, and the way the weather pattern looks for the next couple of weeks looks very favorable. We'll also be doing fertilizer applications that will speed up that process.
Great. Looking forward to it. And again, every time you come out, it looks better and better. And the work that they've done, with the tree work, the sod work on the greens, sod work on the surrounds, has been incredible. So thank you. On behalf of everyone here at Philmont, thank you for what you did. We're looking forward to getting back on the golf course. And we'll talk to you again in another couple weeks. Thanks a lot.